10,
Simple.
9, 8,
Simple,
7,
simple
6,
series. Who
5,
took the simple series?
4,
It's a simple series.
3,
What series?
2,
Simple series. You
1.
know about a simple series? It's Simple 2000.
Welcome back once again to the Simple 2000 series. Today we are looking at beat 'em up games, 4 to be exact. What I like to also refer to as bash and smash games, if you know what I mean. There's some very interesting games here, I will admit. You got one with a scarecrow boy, you got one based around Yakuza, you got one with the sisters, and then you got another one which is based around a pirate. So you got an interesting lineup of games here. And we're going to jump right in, have a look, a bit of first impressions of what these games are like and whatnot, and yeah, hope you enjoy the video. Now, the first game I'm going to be talking about is a game called Splatter Master, also known as Simple 2000 Series Volume 64, the Splatter Action, developed by Buccaneer Systems. You'll see a common trend here that this developer tends to develop a lot of these beat 'em up games. So, let's first start with the story of the game. I'm going to try something different here. So let's first start with the story of the game. So, you play as a scarecrow that goes around killing these weird abominations that are running around in your village. The story goes that there was this village, everything was all happy-dairy, whatever, and then this wizard named Jagod appeared and turned a lot of like the farm animals and creatures and other things that lived in the village, besides humans, into these creatures that attacked the villagers, Jagod's followers, as they said. And yeah, they're just basically taking over the village and destroying everything. I think they're killing the villagers as well. And then there's this couple villagers who live in this big farm or whatever. They get attacked, and the scarecrow they've got on their property gets turned into one of Jagod's followers or servants. But he manages to resist this, and in turn is able to fight for the sake of the couple that he loves so much and considers to be similar to that of parents. It's a silly plot. It's a silly little plot, but it's nice to have a little charm. It's charming as well. It's nice to have a little interesting plot, not something that's cut and paste or something along those lines. Now let's get to the gameplay. The controls are really basic, right? Splatter Master here, what's this called him Splatter Boy. Splatter Boy here, he has just a couple of attacks. You know, he moves around, pretty standard, punch, kick, whatever. Yeah. The enemies also have minimal attack patterns as well. And yeah, okay, Splatter Boy has the ability to bring out his chainsaw for a limited time, depending on how much fuel he has, which you can collect by going and like destroying boxes and whatnot, and sometimes there's fuel in there. But due to the limited movement you have, it's quite easy to get overrun with enemies. There's certain enemies that kind of play against old Splatter Boy. Like there's one enemy that runs at you at really high speed, and yeah, okay, when you first see it, you're going to get hit the first couple of times. But afterwards, it's not too bad because you can kind of predict when he's going to shoot off and try and hit you. But it doesn't make it any easier to jump out of the way. You don't have a dodge, you just jump out of the way. The style. Style's the best thing about this game, right? The story, really nice. The style as well. The levels are nice and bright, and I like that aesthetic. Really good. It's a little bit cartoony too, and that's what I like about it. Splatter Boy's design is really cool, very unique, you know. It kind of looks like a Pumpkin Jack kind of thing. And the music is fairly basic. It's kind of like stock music, but it does the job, I guess. Overall, it's a simple beat 'em up, but it's very charming. With the story and the style of the game, it makes it fairly unique. It's very nice. The next game I'm going to be talking about is Yakuza Fury, also known as the Simple 2000 Series Volume 72, the Ninkyo. Once again, what a surprise, it's developed by Buccaneer Systems. Now, the cover art for this game is very interesting because it doesn't really tell you anything. It's a picture of a woman with some money and a gun. 2 guns, actually. She's holding a gun and there's another gun on the side. So yeah, the cover doesn't really tell you anything. Does it? Maybe you play as a woman. Well, no, you don't. You play as a man. You play as a man. So, let's dive into the story of Yakuza Fury. I'm going to give you very, very, very simple brief of the story here. You got these bunch of clans, they don't like each other, and now they're fighting. They tried to get an alliance, the alliance worked for a little while, and now, no, we want to fight again now. And there you go. That's most Yakuza movies, isn't it? It's like, most Yakuza movies is normally like, there's a rivalry between two clans, and they're fighting, and there's this one guy, and he's a hitman, or he's, yeah. Normally, if you ever watch a Yakuza film, there's normally like a, here's like the background of the story is that these two clans are at war, and then obviously you have the main character and then whatever he's doing, and that's what the story bases around. But always the background story of like what is going on in the background is always that there's two clans at war, or there's a bunch of clans at war, or there was an alliance and it fell apart. It's always the same thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just what it is. So yeah, that's the story of the game. It's told to us in a similar way that it was in Splatter Master, and then you just get thrown into the game. Now, what I'm going to say next, you might find a little bit controversial, right? You might find that. To me, this plays like a budget Ryuga Gokuto. But here's the thing. This game came out before Ryuga Gokuto. If I can pronounce that right. Yeah, it came out before. This game, the Ninkyo, the original Japanese version, came out in February 2005, while the original Yakuza game, Ryuga Gokuto, came out in December 2005. Yeah! So this game precedes Yakuza. Like, my first thought playing this was like, this is a budget Yakuza. But then I looked into it further and found out, holy hell, it came out before. Well, fair enough, I'll give you credit where credit is due, alright? Still is pretty basic beat 'em up though. So, yeah, as I said, with the gameplay, think of like a budget Yakuza. Just think of like, I know Yakuza came out after, right? But this, in all fairness, it does everything that this game does better, in all fairness. Much, much better. But this game has the same kind of simple controls that Splatter Master has. Yeah, the main character you play as, his control scheme's pretty simple. He throws punches, he throws kicks. He has this special he can perform as well, where he like shouts out, and all it is just like a big swinging punch. It doesn't really do much. It's kind of unimpressive. And if I be honest, right, the enemies are in this game are kind of a joke. They are a joke. They have like 2 attacks, and they're so easy to take down. It's ridiculous, but it can be disorientating sometimes, due to there being other people in the streets. Right, you'll be running around punching everyone that you see on the street because they're coming at you and trying to attack you, but then you'll see this random guy standing next to a telephone pole or a lamppost who's just standing there not doing anything, and you think he's an enemy because he looks exactly the same as all the other enemies. So you go and attack him, and then you find out he hasn't got a health bar because a health bar doesn't pop up above his head when you start attacking him. So you can knock him about and beat the absolute crap out of him, but he doesn't respond to it. He doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything. He's immortal. I guess there may be my guys, but who knows, right? Now, the style. Obviously, it's gritty style, right? It's meant to be real, like gritty, Yakuza, whatever, but for 2005, the graphics are pretty good, all considering, anyway. Again, with the limited controls, it kind of like holds it back, and I find it's got a very bland color palette. But then again, it's based around Yakuza. It's hard to say if that's a design choice, whatever. So, and the music is okay. It's better than Splatter Master. I will admit the music is better than Splatter Master, but it's still just kind of okay. Overall, it's kind of exactly the same as Splatter Master, but it hasn't got half the style that Splatter Master had. It's cool that a game like this exists, but really, you know, I don't see the point when you've got something that's superior like Yakuza. Again, it doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, this came out before. Again, I can't stress enough that this came out before, but it doesn't stop Yakuza from doing it 100 times better, you know what I mean? The next game I'm going to be talking about, I'm only going to be talking about briefly, and that is Dragon Sisters, also known as the Simple 2000 Series Volume 87, the Nadeshiko. Developed by Tamsoft, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm not going to talk much about this game because I couldn't get it to work on the emulator, so it is what it is. But from what I can tell from the story, it seems to be that there's these robots or something attacking the world or the planet or the Japan or something, and there's these like elite group called the Cyber Dolls, who you play as, which are these two sisters. I guess they are the Dragon Sisters, but they're referred to in the game as the Cyber Dolls, and it's their job to go and basically try and take down these monsters, or these robots, or something or other. Yeah, if I'll be completely honest, it looks like it plays really, really well. Looks like there's a lot of combos, a lot of different moves you can do. Um, the graphics are actually surprisingly quite nice, all considering, and the music. Oh, the music's really good. From what just from the footage I saw of it, the music's really, really surprising and really good. You got boss battles and whatnot. It to me, it looks like not too bad of a game. I might actually, if I could have given it a go myself, I probably would have actually thought wasn't too bad. But alas, I couldn't get it to work. I tried and I tried and I tried, and it wouldn't have any of it. So. But yeah, so Dragon Sisters looks pretty decent. Looks okay from what I can see. That's all I can really say from again from just watching footage. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next game now, and the final game. The final game I'm going to be talking about is Buccaneer, also known as the Simple 2000 series Volume 96, the Kaizoku Gaikotsu Ipparesu. The Kaizoku's just better. I don't know why this is called Buccaneer. It's really, really strange. Again, the Kaizoku literally translates to the pirate. The game. He is a pirate. So, okay, whatever. This is developed by Digitalware, different company. Not really familiar with this company. And the first thing I'm going to say, it's got the very basic story. It's got the simplest story of the whole entire beat 'em up games, bash and smash games. You are a pirate. There is fame, gold, and riches that can be found in the world on these ghost ships. You set out to go and find these ghost ships to get the gold. And that's it. That is the story. Literally, when I was playing this game originally, like how it read, it was similar to like the fame, fortune, power. These are the things, blah blah blah. And all that. That was in like the One Piece intro, if you're familiar with One Piece. It made me laugh. But yeah, very, very simple story. But that's not a bad thing, because this game is awesome. And I'll tell you exactly why this game is awesome. When the first thought that came to my mind when playing this game was, think of a budget Devil May Cry. And that's never a bad thing, because that's literally on Ichibara as well. But again, it's a real stretch of the imagination. There's a lot of games that you can say is a budget Devil May Cry, but honestly, this game has that kind of feeling. It has a feeling of Devil May Cry. You go on a ghost ship looking for treasure. It's guarded by bony boys. The controls are much better than the previous beat 'em ups, by far, that I've just previously discussed. You have a variety of different combos you can perform, and just look at this. Again, does it remind you of a certain Demon Slayer by chance? You also have a dedicated roll button for dodging, which is very helpful as well. You're a pretty badass pirate if you ask me in this game. It's just, I love the style in this game. It's a very basic color palette, but you've got these small little details like the map, which when you start, you're a little ship on the map and you go around trying to find these ghost ships. And then one pops up and you head towards it and it initiates like a Pokemon battle. It's quite. And then you've got another one where when you're actually on the ships fighting these these bony boys, you've got like the swaying in the camera to initiate that you're on a ship. And I like that as well. That's really cool. It's just little things like that. Just little things. And the music's okay. Could be better. Could be much better. I still stand by. I think Dragon Sisters has got the best music out of all four of these games that I've covered. But it's fine. It's fine for what it is. If you really could do with a soundtrack similar to Devil May Cry, like you got Devil May Cry music in the background here, that I'm playing at the moment from Devil May Cry 3, and I just think that fits so much better. Overall, I was really surprised with this one. Really surprised. Really good. Even if the battles are pretty much the same each one, because I play through one ghost ship fully, and it's literally just bony boys all the time. But the Buccaneers controls, they make up for it. That's what makes it special. And that's it. We've finished. That was all 4 of the beat-em-up games that I could find from the Simple 2000 series that were released in English. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've enjoyed playing these games. My favorite, probably, I would say, was Buccaneer. I'll be honest. Again, what I stated about Buccaneer. Really, imagine if you had the style of Splatter Master and the controls of Buccaneer and combine them together. Oh, that would be the match made in heaven. But it is what it is. Anyway, like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think about any of these games. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.